Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carolyn Ann, and my channel is a lifestyle channel where you will follow us on our journey to becoming debt-free as well as financially stable. In today's video, we will be talking about, you see the title, I was a rape victim and I blamed myself. So before we get started, I am drinking red wine. I'll bring the whole bottle because I might need this. It's Menage a Trois Dulce. And I was told by my doctor that I needed to drink more red wine. Here it is. I can only drink the sweet wine. So, I did bring the Kleenexes just in case. I'm hoping that I don't cry through this. But let's get started. Back in my mid-20s, I was a single parent of 4. My kids were all in elementary, and I had one that was not in school yet. At the time this happened, my kids were not at home. They were away, and I was at home alone. I was dating a guy, however, he was not there all the time. So to get the story started, the guy that I was dating, he was a drug dealer. He didn't bring the stuff around me. I didn't know too much about what he was doing on the side because he did work construction and he did, you know, a couple other things, but I didn't know what all he was doing on the side. Would that have changed anything? I don't know, because I was already invested in the relationship and I thought I was in love. So I don't know if that would have changed it or not. So I was living in an area and it was really quiet. I've never had any problems. I didn't have any friends over there. I had a couple of people that I was acquainted with, but I didn't deal with a lot of people. However, I had a routine. I got up at the same time every morning. I walked the dog at the same time every morning. I checked the mail at the same time. I came home at the same time. I left at the same time. I took my kids where they needed to go at the same time. So I had a routine. That was one thing that I did wrong. As a woman, you should be aware of your surroundings and you should make sure that you change your routine up instead of having the same routine so someone can get familiar with your routine. And that's where I made my mistake. So had I changed my routine, I don't know if it would have happened or not. I mean, I believe it would have because they thought that there was drugs in the house and they were coming to get the drugs. Like I said, that was not done around me. For some reason this night, my kids were gone and I had locked the dogs in the garage instead of having them in the house. I never put my dogs in my garage. But this particular night, I wanted to sleep without being bothered. I had 2 Rottweilers, and if you have Rottweilers, you know that they like a lot of attention. So I put the dogs in the garage and I was going to let them in before I fell asleep. However, I took my shower, I was looking at a movie, and I fell asleep. I heard something break and I was thinking, okay, well, you know, a glass fell in the sink or, you know, to the floor or whatever. I listened to see if there was any other noise coming with it and I didn't hear anything. So I fell back to sleep. This night, I happened to take something to help me sleep because my allergies were acting up really bad. Only to be woke out of my sleep with someone's hand covering my face. I look up and there are 2 guys in the room. I can't see their face because they have masks. All they kept asking me was, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And I kept asking, what are you talking about? What do you want? What are you looking for? Where is it? It's all they say. They never tell me what they're looking for. They just kept asking, where is it? So one of the guys, the one that was holding my face, decides, okay, so since you won't tell me, I'm going to rape you. The other guy is standing to the side and he's saying, dude, we're not here for that. Let's go. Let's search the place. Let's tear it upside down until we find what we're looking for. And let's get out of here. We're not here for that. So the guy said, oh man, it'll only take a minute. So at this point, I'm crying and I'm trying to beg for my life because I don't know if they're going to shoot me after they rape me. I don't know what's going on, but I have all these things going through my mind. And I'm thinking, you know, where are my dogs? My dogs are in the garage. so they can't help. So the guy that is raping me keeps asking me, where is it? Where is it? And I'm telling him, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? What are you looking for? So the guy that is standing to the side and observing, he never once tried to stop him. He never once tried to stop him. He just kept saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And I'm thinking, if you're so sorry, why are you not helping? So he calls the guy nickname. And this is going to come into play a little later in the story, but he calls the guy's nickname. So after they're finished what they're doing, and at this time I didn't have a weapon, I didn't have anything to defend myself, but after they finish, they are tearing up the house. They can't find what they're looking for, so they leave. I call the police, and the police tell me, do not take a shower. We'll be there. We're on our way. Do not take a shower. We need the evidence. Are you home alone? Call someone if you need someone to be there with you, but we're there. We'll be there in a few minutes. So when the police get there, they search the perimeter to see if there's anyone there. There's no one there. They haven't found anything, but they do see where they didn't kick the door in, but they somehow jimmied it open. I don't know what they used, but it was like a little crack in the door where they jimmied the door open. And that's how they got in. So they proceeded to look for fingerprints and other things that they may have left behind. At this point, I was taken to the hospital for a rape kit. Guys, that is one of the most humiliating things you will ever have to go through. I said I wasn't gonna cry. Hold on. Okay. That is one of the most humiliating things you ever want to go through. So you go through the procedure. They have to do all these swabs and get hair evidence. It's a lot that they go through. If you need to know what it is, please look it up, because I'm not going to go into detail. But they do bring a counselor, a female counselor, in the room with you to hold your hand and to talk you through what's going on. At this point, after they finish, she gives you a card and she tells you to contact this number. They're going to get you some counseling and different things like that. So I go home and I'm still by myself. The kids are gone for the weekend. I'm still by myself. I let my dogs in. At this point, my dogs are not allowed out of my sight. Where I go, they go. So I go home and the first thing that goes through my mind is, you're so stupid. Why? Why did you let this happen? Why did you not stop this? Why did you not prevent this? You could have stopped this. And that's all that's going through my mind. I'm wondering how I let this happen and why it happened to me. I went into a depression. I went into a deep depression. And I think what really brought me out of it was my kids. My kids got home. I was depressed. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to take them anywhere. I didn't want to play with them. I didn't want to do anything. So what really got me was my baby girl. She was 2 at the time. And she felt that something was wrong with me. So all she would do was just climb on my lap and just hold me so that it's like she knew I was going through something and she just wanted me to be okay. So I guess that was her way of making sure that I was okay. She got really clingy and did not want to be out of my sight. So she was sleeping in the bed with me. She was just up under me all the time. I had to get to the point where I had to bring myself out of this depression, because my kids were asking, Mama, what's wrong? Why are we not doing this? Why are you not cooking? Why can't we go here? So I had to figure out a way to get out of this depression. So I took the card that they gave me and I started seeing a counselor. and they sent me to a place, and it's sort of like a AA meeting. However, I've never been an alcoholic, so I don't know what an AA meeting is, but I do see it on TV, so that's what I assume it looks like. It is a area where you have a group of women that have been through the same thing, and they ask you, how do you feel? Talk about your experience so that others, know that you're not alone. I took probably about 2 weeks of that, and I had enough of it. So I decided that I'm going to go home. I'm packing my things. I'm finding a place to stay, and me and my kids are going to move. My kids had an excursion where they were able to go on a trip out of town. And all except for the baby girl, she went, her grandmother had her. But the others were able to go to, it was sort of like a little camp. So they went to the camp so that I can get myself together. No one knew what had happened to me because I did not speak it with anyone but my boyfriend. So let's get back to that. I'm sorry I went too far. Let's get back to that. When he came home, I told him what happened, and he was asking a lot of questions like I knew who it was. I did not know who it was. I did not see their faces, but I did hear the guy call the nickname, which was Tank. So I told him what I knew, and he immediately leaves the house, and he's on the hunt for Tank. I found out later that he found someone that knew him and someone that was really close with him. So he proceeds to beat this guy up because the guy won't tell him where he's at or anything like that. This, of course, brung retaliation. And guess who got the retaliation? Me. I'm sorry. But yes, I did. One night, the kids were gone. Like I stated, they were gone. I had been packing all day and I was tired. So I took some medication. And this was anxiety medication because at that point I was on anxiety, and that stuff put me to sleep. My dogs were in the house, and there were 2 cars pull up, and I just hear these doors shutting. And then I hear someone banging on the door. I never turned on the light. I never opened the door, and I never looked at the peephole. However, there's a window next to where my door is, and I sort of pulled the door open so that I can see if I knew who these people were. And immediately as I'm shutting the window, all you hear is gunshots. One bullet came so close to my arm that it glazed it. It burnt the other underside of my arm. One went through my bedroom window and one went through the door. Now, the door is here, the window's here, and I'm in between the door. For the grace of God, they missed shooting there. So I got down on the floor, and I'm trying to grab my dogs because they're jumping at the window. They're trying to get out the house. So I'm grabbing my dogs so that they would not get shot. The car sped off. I call the police again, and they come out. So after this, I'm not packing anymore. I'm just getting my stuff, and I went to stay with my mother and my sister at the time. I had to get out of that area. I did go back during the daytime with someone so that they could help me get my stuff and put it in storage. And I put my stuff in storage. I just needed to get out of where I was staying. At the time, I was staying in Tulsa, Oklahoma. About a week later, I heard that the guy that raped me was shot, raping someone's wife. He raped the woman. He was raping the woman, and the husband came home at the time, and he shot him in his groin. And he did not die. They took him to the hospital and everything. And that is when the guy that I was dating found out. He came to get me to take me up to the hospital. And me being stupid, I didn't want to go. I was scared, but I was scared not to go because I was scared that he was going to get out the hospital. So like I said, I never seen his face. I never once seen his face. I did hear his voice. So that's the only thing I had to identify him by. So as I go into the room that he is occupying, his mom is sitting by the bed and he's there. And as soon as I walk around the door, it's like he almost came out of his bed. He seen who I was and he recognized me. He started saying something like, I'm sorry. And all I can do is, that's him. I knew his voice. So I turned to leave out the room, and the guy I was dating proceeds to start beating the guy, and his mom's hollering for security. Well, security comes and they escort us out, and he, asking him what's going on because they had him in handcuffs. The guy I was dating, they had him in handcuffs, and he told them what happened. And they said that's what he's here for. The police, had security on the door, but they just happened to step away for, I don't know if they went for coffee, I don't know, bathroom, I don't know what they went away for, but they were not at the door when we got there. So they escorted us out, and when they got us downstairs, they took the handcuffs off and told us to leave and not to come back. So the guy did go to court. He was charged with 5 counts of rape. He was charged with firing into an occupied dwelling. He was charged with attempted murder, and he was charged with breaking and entering. And there was another charge, but I can't remember what the charge was. So after all this was done, I went and I asked the people that I was working for at the time if they had any transfers to another city away from Tulsa, and they happened to have one come up in Oklahoma City. So I asked, could I apply for it? And I immediately transferred to Oklahoma City. I thought I was done with it, and I thought I was okay. I thought I had got past this. However, 3 months ago, I started having these dreams, or should I say nightmares, and something was urging me, talk about it. Get it out there. Help someone else that needs help. Someone that has been through what you're going through now. Let them know that it's not their fault. They are not to blame. They had nothing to do with it. Because my thoughts were, you're so stupid. Why did you let this happen? Why did you not stop this? Why did you put yourself in this position? There was nothing I could do. At the time, I may have weighed 103 pounds. And I have these 2 big guys. I did not have a weapon. I did not have a way to defend myself. I spiraled into a deep depression, and I should have went to counseling is what I should have did. But me thinking that I was strong enough to deal with it, I didn't. So just to let you know that it is not your fault. There's nothing you can do about it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Unless you have a weapon to defend yourself, there's nothing you can do about it. But I will tell you to be aware of your surroundings. Make sure you have protection. Change your routine. And if you have animals, dogs, and if you have dogs, don't put them in the garage. Especially if they're big enough to protect you. Do not put them in the garage. I thought I was going to get some good sleep if I put them in the garage, because the Rottweilers like a lot of affection. So that's why they were in the garage. The longer that I ignored the push for me to discuss this and talk about it and get it out there, the worse the dreams got. When I decided that I was going to do this video, everything sort of calmed down. However, I have done this video 5 times. I have deleted this video 5 times. So I said, when I do this video again, it is what it is, and it's going up. I'm not going to cut anything out. It is what it is, and it's going to go up. So here it is, and I'm going to put it out there. So, hello, my name is Carolyn Ann, and I am a rape survivor. It was not my fault. It was nothing I can do about it. I just happened to be in a position where I shouldn't have been. I happened to be dating someone that I shouldn't have been dating. Because come to find out, they were looking for drugs. They never told me what they were looking for. Had they told me, I could tell them, there's no drugs in this house. You can look, there's no drugs in this house. That made me, and I don't regret any of my past and any of the people I dated, because that just made me stronger. That made me who I am today. That made me learn from my mistakes. So that lesson there made me the woman that I am. Made me the person that is going to motivate everybody else to do better than what they're doing. So if you are going through the same thing that I went through, if you have experienced what I've went through, keep your head up and know it was not your fault. So I'm going to end this video now before I start crying again. The title of the video states that I blame myself, and I did. I blame myself for being raped. I didn't rape myself, so how could I blame myself? So we're going to end this video in hopes that it helps someone else. And I know now that all my nightmares have went away. Once I decided to make this video, my nightmares calmed down. When I procrastinated about making the video, they start coming back. So I've got this video made, and I know that it's going to go away. I have my husband as a support. He does know of everything that happened, and he encouraged me to talk about it and make the video. If it's going to help me, and if it's going to help someone else, tell them what you've been through. Thanks, babe. So, fam, if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. And if you stuck around this long, please consider subscribing and joining the family. But that is all for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification button so that you'll be notified next time I upload a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.